Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalrin, and this video isn't really a organized video. I don't have a script for this one, mainly because I want to talk a bit about Blizzard and basically what they're almost sort of talking about for patch 7.1, and for you guys to all voice your opinions. So when you're reading through the patch 7.1, please be sure to read through it thoroughly. I'll have a link in the video, and if I don't remember to put it in, somebody in the comments will remind me about it. But please remember to read thoroughly through patch 7.1. Recently, Blizzard has been making some weird decisions when it comes to the next patch. I mean, the next patch is going to be somewhere around December time, so it's going to be a couple months until then. But still, it is right around the corner. And we recently talked about the Subtlety Rogue, Assassination Rogue, and Outlaw Rogue. Basically, Rogue PvP nerfs in general overall. And they're doing a lot of other weird things. The next thing they are doing, which is, I find just bizarre, they're taking away the fist stun from monks for PvP. Instead, the ability is getting changed in 7.1, which I feel like it's not gonna go through, but still worth talking about. They are making it so the ability snares the target for like 70% movement increase or decrease instead of stuns. Which the stuns for the Windwalker monks are basically the bread and butter. Yes, they're part of a major rotation which forces them for them to have basically double stun, serenity, the artifact weapon available, and touch of death, which basically is a one-shot. And I was able to test it on the beta servers before. Made a video on it, just literally of me running in like an idiot, blowing my cooldowns to the target, and that was really a damage tuning kind of difference. But here it's like they're taking away a stun from PvP. The fists themselves, the actual Fists of Fury, don't stun unless you talent it for PvP specifically, because there's no real need for it to stun for PvE situations, and that's completely understandable, and now they're reverting it. Also, another weird thing they're doing is, remember Ferals and how they lost a lot of CC? They're apparently giving them Cyclone back. And it's like, what? I mean, on one hand, I am happy that Ferals are getting Cyclone because it is something that Ferals have asked for a while, ever since the Legion was announced, and a lot of people felt weird that, hey, I've been PvPing as a Feral and I've had Cyclone for the longest time, why am I not getting it back? Feral with WoD, yes, you had Cyclone, but it wasn't the same. Like, they started stripping it away by taking away instant Cyclone back from Pandarian to Warlords transition, and then Warlords to Legion. They basically took all CC away, so all you were is basically a bleed bot, and they're bringing that back in. Another thing they're also bringing back in is Shadow Form for Shadow Priest. I don't know if that one's really too controversial, but Blizzard is doing weird things recently. First one was the Rogue nerfs, which happened just like that in a moment of a second. Anybody who's been maining Assassination for PvP, who was gonna PvP as Assassination, took a 30, not even just 30, a 30% agility nerf for the spec, and an overall 10% stat nerf, so basically 40% agility nerf. That's literally almost 50% damage reduction, which is crazy. And I mean, I can kind of understand why, because Assassination was doing well in terms of damage, and is the spec that doesn't have a lot of CC, so it makes sense for the spec to do a lot more damage while lacking in CC, but it still allows the spec to be accelerated because melee cleaves are really strong right now, and probably going to continue being strong until maybe a few seasons come out. Anyway, melee are able to get up there, and Assassination Rogues are able to get up there in terms of ratings, mainly because melee cleaves and mainly because they have the damage. But now that the damage is reduced, some people are saying like, well, if you reduce the damage, can you give blind back? And while you're at it, can you give gouge back? I mean, if we are all in the same topic and they did nerf subtlety, why does it give subtlety a gouge back? And then we have like this homogenization of specs, which I'm not a big fan of, but you know, you do need things to balance out, but chances are they won't give Assassination CC back. So it's like they're making these weird decisions. And basically what I'm trying to say is, it sucks to have a main. It sucks to main a certain spec. Because of the artifact weapon and because of just how much shit there is to do in Legion, the catch-up mechanic to level a whole nother spec or a whole nother class is not punishing, but it is definitely a struggle and a half at the very least. Mainly because the artifact weapon grind is, a lot of people are on a week 4, we are like on a week 4, so a lot of people are about between 18 and 21, maybe even 22, maybe some people are 23, depends how hardcore you go with your artifact weapon. 20s, around the 20 mark for your artifact weapon, and that takes a while. I'm not currently at level 21, I'm halfway through to 22, which takes 50,000 artifact power. Yes, you do get to research your artifact weapon, and so you are able to get a little bit more artifact power overall from either your dailies, daily world quests, or through your daily dungeon, daily arena, daily BGs, whatever. But it still is a while to really fully gear up your character. And let's say you decide to play a spec that got nerfed, or that got any kind of, I guess, basically that got screwed over. And let's say you decide, okay, so for my raid team, I am going to play a different spec or a different class in order to go and help out my raid. That time that you spend leveling that one character and gearing them out is basically almost like wasted in a way. Not fully wasted, like, all the things you did, I just can't do it anymore. But in a way, it is kind of wasted, because you just don't have the ability to just like on the fly just swap to another spec, take your artifact weapon points, for example, and just bam, you're playing a viable spec. And when Blizzard makes these weird decisions, like for example taking away stun from the monk or giving pharaohs back the cyclone, it gives all the people that are playing their spec like, whoa. As far as I understood, this is the class design you presented me, but this is the class design you're giving me later. I was not aware my class was either going to get buffed or nerfed. If you are getting buffed, then it's a good thing, because you're getting more things you can use. Pharaoh's getting Cyclone is probably going to be one of the best things ever. First of all, it's going to give him a CC, and it's going to make the playstyle a little bit nicer. I don't know how the Cyclone will work. Hopefully it's not an insta-cast, but that'd be weird if it was. Actually, that'd be interesting if it was. It's probably just going to be a cast spell like any other. And just taking away stuns from monks is just like, I mean, I know monks, I feel like they should be tuned down for, I mean, they're not that amazing for PvP right now. They are, like a really good monk can probably climb high, and you are basically forced to play cleaves, but there's other classes that I feel like a little bit better than monks, like a rogue or a demon hunter are probably a little bit better for alteration of a monk. But that's just like tuning issue, and I feel like that's like agility tuning or healing tuning or defensives or whatever, and you know, I feel like taking away the stun from them wasn't the right decision, because it was like they weren't doing super amazing, like high rated easy glad in the past, and now all they could do is just stun once and hope their fist kills them. Like right now you're going to be forced to basically play some kind of a melee cleave with another class that can lock down and stun. So what, are you going to play Windwalker Rogue? Which is going to feel weird. It might be viable, but it is going to feel weird for sure. Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit, and I guess it is a bit of a rant about Blizzard and like all the specs. Basically what they have brought up is the idea, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one here that agrees, is that every single spec that you play, whatever spec you play, they are going to allow you to play how you want to play for your spec. They are going to allow you to main that spec, no matter how good or bad it is. And when they're making these big decisions like throughout the game, as like, oh, everybody's hyped and everybody's building that character, because for the most part I have time for only one character, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have time for only one character. And we can go further, when you have time for that one character, you're generally leveling and gearing and bettering that one spec that you really enjoy. So for me, it's Outlaw, and if Outlaw the next day were to just get nerfed by like 40% nerf, and they took away my stuns, and I don't have a blind anymore, and instead I have fish for weapons, you know, so I actually heal the enemy every time I hit him, like there's nothing I could do about it. I already invested the time into playing Outlaw. What am I supposed to do, reroll another spec? If I were to roll another spec, like let's say Subtlety or Assassination, it'll take a while for me to catch up with my artifact weapon, so I'm forever behind. If I am to reroll a character completely a whole nother class, I am forever behind in a way. I mean, there is catch-up mechanics, but I kind of do like the idea for catch-up mechanics to just like, not just grant you, oh hey, so you're catching up, here's some free experience so you can level faster, here's some free gear so you can catch up with everybody, here's all the free artifact power so you can just get up to everyone's level. I like the fact that they aren't doing that. But on the other hand, it does kind of force a lot of players into this disadvantageous position. And the only reason we are in this disadvantageous position is because they're making all these huge changes to original class designs. Like original class designs are just getting reverted completely. I don't know if the Shadow Priest nerf, if that's a nerf or above, but the fact that they're giving back Shadow form is weird. And I feel like it truly is weird. The Rogue nerf to Assassination, the fact it's supposed to be all about damage, not CC. And it's like the only thing that they can do is deal damage and you nerf that, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. giving Cyclone back to Ferals after you took it out because you were thinking, oh no, we just want to spare bleeds and do bleed pressure. And then monks like, oh, they're stunning and that's their bread and butter. Oh, let's take the bread and butter away. It's just weird, and it's more of a, I guess, a video as a message to Blizzard, more or less. A lot of players are really committing into their class, into one class or one spec, and most of the times it's just one character. Of course, there will be some people that are very much dedicated to the PvP or the PvE scene, and they will make any needed changes as on a moment's notice, at a drop of a hat, in order to be able to change those specs or change the class altogether and relevel another class just so they can fit the meta. But not every player is able to do that. Definitely give credit for everybody who does that or has done that already. That's insane. You are doing something crazy, and hopefully you get the best loot in your raids and probably the highest rating in PvP if you have done that. But most players, it's just, there's just so much stuff to catch up with. It's just that much easier to just keep playing a one character. And I mean, I'm somebody who makes videos on World of Warcraft, right? My channel is based around World of Warcraft, and if WoW does poorly, my channel most likely does poorly. So for me, if I were to just relevel a whole spec, for me it would be unlikely to do that. But on one hand, it would be like, oh, you know, I can still make a spec good, but on the other, it's like, I as a player, as somebody who plays World of Warcraft, would not want to go through everything that I have. I've come too far to just say, nope, that's, I don't want to do any of this. Nope, come too far, guys. So I don't know, I feel really weird about this all the changes that they're doing, and hopefully most of these changes don't come easily through the patch 7.1, and that's why I'm forcing you guys, or I'm trying to encourage you guys to read through the patch notes, and if there's anything you find that just seems off or seems weird or seems like, how is that even making it through, you should probably call it out on the forums. Get some kind of awareness. Go to the forums and post about it. Maybe there'll be other people that are like-minded that'll share your opinion. And that is basically what I'm trying to say in this video. So I hope most of these changes that they're talking about, or quote-unquote changes, don't go through in the live version of the game. Like, take away stuns from monks from fists. Are you kidding me? I feel like that's just weird overall. And at least if they do come through, I hope there's a lot of thought process through it, and they don't come through lightly. There's some actual consideration on the end of Blizzard and some player feedback that comes in. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video letting you guys know what the hell is going on out in World of Warcraft. And it's like 2 in the morning where I'm at, so I'm gonna go to sleep. You guys have yourselves a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about everything in the comments below. And again, guys, please do check out patch 7.1. Notes in order to figure out what the hell is going on and get informed. Keep up with what your classes are going through, whether you're PvPing, PvEing, or just want to enjoy the game casually, and your class might literally be getting screwed and you just don't even know it until you look at the patch notes. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.